This is Sunflower Studio. We worked on the tragic Schoolbus. First on our team is Peter. He worked on NPCs, UI, inventory, and background music. Next is Cooper. He worked on art, level design, save systems, and UI integration. And Guadalupe, who worked on the player controller, the enemy AI, combat, and the animation integration. I'm Cooper Freeman, and to start, I'll be talking about some of the mechanics that we found to be unique in our game. First of which is corruption. It's reminiscent of the game PT and also of analog horror videos. The idea is that every stamp gained is a step towards a more horrific environment, as you can see with the history room diagram over there. Another is custom characters. Because of the way that we animated them, we realized we could put parts of characters together to make custom characters that the player can decide how they look, and that was something that we were really proud of. And the third is classmates. There are other classmates that have a similar goal to yours. They also want to get stamps to get a good grade, so they will look for stamp locations as well, and if they can't find any, then they'll just sort of wander around as a student would normally do on a field trip. Next, I'll be talking about what I predominantly worked on solo, which is the art. It is inspired by games like Paper Mario, and there are other projects like video projects like Petscop, which imitate games that are sort of have this vibe. The animation is like paper doll animation, so they're made of a bunch of different parts. For instance, head, arms, body, legs, and they are rotated on an axis so that they can accomplish animation. The theme behind this was sort of from cute to creepy, so you start with like a very cute aesthetic, and then as the game goes, there's sort of a tint to everything, gets a little more realistic and uncanny, and then eventually you arrive at just complete and total horror, depending on, especially the ending. As you can see, there's the bad ending paper over there.
Hello, I'm Guadalupe, and I primarily worked on the player controller, health system, enemy AI, combat, weapons, and some of the sound effects and animation integration. I tried to make some of the components of the player controller as customizable as possible, so things like the move speed and the melee attack area, shape, and range can be modified. And the same goes for the weapon handler. Each type of weapon has its own attributes that make it unique. So the stick is a good weapon for close combat, while the slingshot works great for long-range encounters. I'm very proud of my work with the enemy AI. I mainly focused on the wandering and patrolling enemies, Big Cheese and the bullies. What I like the most about them is the way they react when getting hit from the distance. So if you attack them with a slingshot, they will stop what they're doing to go after you. And if they are successful and they kill you, you will see the game over screen on the right. Here is a very brief demonstration of how the enemies behave. So the bully will be patrolling an area, and Big Cheese will be wandering around. And if I hit either one, they will follow the player to attack him.
Okay, so I worked on the inventory and UI, making it look like just a school folder, but having a childish look towards it. The inventory works through scriptural objects, which are editable and customizable and easily, adding functions to it. So it could be either categorized as a weapon through a true or false statement, or holdable through a true false statement, and can be used through any script from anywhere. And the descriptions are corruptible, so at first it would bring something innocent like just describing what it is, like pull it and it flings stuff, or later on just gives it a more eerie description like why are kids allowed to have this. Now for student AI, they're meant to mimic students looking for stamps, and they navigate through a nav mesh looking through a list of stamp locations and going towards it. But if they're blocked by anything that's also blocking the player, they just wander about. So whenever a new location is open, they naturally navigate to stamps, which is helpful towards the player since they can see where NPCs are going to. So, that's obviously where stamps are going to be. It's descriptive objects it's pretty easy to make new ones, new NPCs, and upgradable. Like a function in my mind would be adding dialogue that's also corruptible potentially. Um, I also added sound effects and background music. This was done through audio mixers, so it's simple to add sounds and edit the volume through that just main master volume setting. And for the background music, it started off with having cheery, upbeat tunes for the level, but obviously a battlefield would be more eerie sounding than a classroom. And the ending credits chose a song that really fit with the bitter journey that the game conveys. So it's very wistful and melodic, and of course, all this is credited.
Alright, so I'm doing a playthrough of the game now, just making a character to start. And we're going to get started, going to talk to the teacher, and then I'm going to use a developer teleport. So if you right click with this developer teleport, then you teleport. That's just how I was able to speed it up. So we're going to fight this mouse now, or rat. The door opened, showing off combat. Now we're going to show off the block puzzles with ABC, just because that's the easiest one, the fastest one for the sake of time. Once I'm done pushing those, then we're going to skip the smile one just because it's longer, takes more time. Just going to teleport ahead into the next room, pick up the book. Alright, and we're going to check our inventory. Got the book there, we got our little Zelda mini-map over there. We got a fun fact for each level, and we have a little save file area, as well as settings. There was also a little bingo place, I'm sure you saw. That just says bingo right now because there's no bingo in the school, but when we get to the field trip level, which we're going to click here, we'll be able to see it there. For now, we have those NPCs. They're just going to wander around looking for the bingo spots as well, because they're also students looking for it. So here we got our silhouettes here. They'll just fill in when we collect them, which we're going to go do now. The sole objective of the level to complete it is to pick up all these statues, not statues, stamps, and that's what we'll be doing. Skipped over the old man for now, but if we talked to him, he would have given us the hint that the word for this is hero. That would be the blocks that we aligned to spell it out. Getting the last one here, the grave that he wanted to go see. And I'm about to go and re-enter main area. Teacher says it's time to go home. We didn't go to the hill, but that's fine. We're going to go save, and then to show the different endings, we're going to reload it and go to the hill later. But for now, we are going to get on the bus. As you can see, we got a piece of paper, and as it fades in, it's a family of monsters, sort of like corrupted. That's the corruption ending. So now we're going to go back and see the mountain to get the non-corrupted ending. Also, the students didn't leave the area. That's just because I didn't open up a gate. I teleported. So, climbing the hill. This is where Zarya is. We're going to go see the mountain, like she'd ask if we talked to her. And when we go see the mountain, get a stamp, but it says innocent. So these are going to be the innocent spots. Clicked off there by accident. The true ending of the game, or the happy ending at least, is going to be that you go and see all these innocent spots and that are sort of like uncorrupted. And if you see all of them, you get the good ending. There's only one right now, so seeing all of them is what we already did. We're going to get the non-corrupted ending. Any questions?